28 talks about how he poured out his spirit on all flesh, right?
So
Sons
good.
and daughters, right? It gives us that confidence that we can hear and then we can take that and love on people, which is so profound.
Come on, restoring dignity back to the body. I love that prophecy is described as basically God's love language.
I feel like it's a love language of God and it knits us together.
So good.
The way that I look at it is like when you have a God thought for somebody, or even if you're in a disagreement, when you get God's thoughts for someone and you're able to actually understand, have that revelation, you can't see them any other way.
Prophecy is not only for the select few, it is truly for every believer.
And I love that. But what I have seen is that I have looked at people who have prophesied and I don't look like them. I don't prophesy like them, so I immediately would shrink back.
It doesn't always have to be dramatic and scary. And I think on the flip side, it's often more subtle, right? It's often gentle. It's a word of encouragement, it's clarity, it's guidance. So I look
That's
at it
it.
as something that can arrest your spirit. You know what I mean? Like something that can captivate you, something that it just pulls you into the present and you are just so attentive to what's being said and you're receiving
Mhm.
it into your heart, like it's getting in there. And you're
Yeah.
like, what in the actual just happened right now? Like, were you in my quiet time with the Lord? And this is a total stranger, right? And that might just seem like, oh, it's just a total stranger gave me a word of encouragement. But that was like, no, no, no. The Lord actually captivated that person and arrested their spirit to speak life into your spirit around something that you were wrestling with. Misconception number three, God doesn't speak today. I'm
So it
like,
makes my heart sad.
yes.
Oh,
Like,
well,
boo. Ew.
that one's hard. That's a hard one. I was hungry for like the God of the universe. I was doing that Bible roulette where you throw open the Bible and be like, okay, what are you speaking today? I love that Jesus came to fulfill the law, but also invite us into an entirely new world of relationship with the Lord,
Yeah.
Father in heaven, who desperately wanted that deep connection
Yeah.
and wanted us, like he wanted us to be able to hear him.
The word of God is living and
Yeah.
active, right? Often we hear this part where it's sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing to the division of soul and spirit, of the joints and marrow, and discerning the thoughts and intentions of the heart. This word that I'm reading, this book is alive and active. And I'm going to use my imagination here, but to me, what that means is, if I were to break it down personally, that means that as I'm reading this, there's going to be something happening inside of me. Like there's going to be a work happening in my heart. I expect this two-way conversation with him. I expect to be led. I expect to hear him. I expect to be